Hello students. So this is the demo practical demonstration how we can connect with our Firebase. Right now in that particular specific project, that is a continuation of the last week 9 practical demo. We have three entities: address, courses, and the enrollments. And then we have three data access object which we are trying to create, we are trying to generate, and so on. So we created the room using the room framework. We created the SQLite database in which we add some informations, we manipulate the other information, how we can insert new records, how we can update new records, update the records, not the new one, or even we can delete the records. Okay. So we have seen those things. We also see that how we can create the relationship between different tables, and then how we can using those relationships, how we can get the information for that particular specific record or the related information, like in the enrollment, which is based on the student ID and the course ID. So we can get not only the enrollment information, but the relevant, or what you can the course information in the course object, as well as the relevant student information in the student object. And we have seen all those in an extensive way. Now we will be talking about what you can say, that how we can connect with the remote database or the cloud database and replicate the same database that we have seen in the courses and address courses, students, and the enrollments. The same database, how we can replicate inside our cloud. So let's start with that. So the first thing is that we need to go into our console. So console.firebase.google.com. If you go there, and then you can add a project. Okay, so we can say that our, we can select the name, for example, week 10. Am I connected? Week. Let's start with the project. Okay, I want that name there. Week. What my? Okay, what's the problem? Why my? Okay, I'm here. Week 10 demo project. Okay, so week 10 demo project, it is saying that I am giving that particular specific name based on the name that I have given. Continue. And in this particular specific, you want to enable, normally I would don't say that I don't want to use any kind of enable. Start the project. When you start creating the project, it will take some time before that particular project can be created. So it is creating, and once it is created, it will show me that you want to continue to and open that particular specific project for us. So finishing up, almost there. So continue. So we can, your new project is ready. When you say continue, it will take you to that particular specific project. The first thing that we need to do here is we need to connect that particular specific project with our Android. So when you say connect, I need to provide the Android application project. So where I can find that particular specific package name, it is here. Okay, so this is the package name. I just copy from here and then I paste here. You can also give that name if you want, week 10 demo. It is optional. We can also provide additional security. Again, these are the optional things, but yes, if you want to enhance the security of your data, then you can do that. Once we say here to register, it will try to register that particular specific package name, and then I need to download that particular specific file. So it will say that I want to save that particular specific file. And if I look at that, actually again look at that, I have already downloaded a few other files. So it say that you want that particular specific JSON in the bracket one is has been added. So where it is going, it is going actually into my download folder. I just bring my download folder here. So what I need to do here, I need to remove my, what you can say, that delete that particular specific file from here, and then I rename that particular specific file to the JSON services. And now I can copy that particular specific file, copy Google, and then I come into my project inside my Android Studio. So here first thing I need to convert that particular project view into the project, and then inside my application, uh, I just right click on that app, and then I say I want to paste. It say that you want to add that particular specific file here. Yes, and now this particular specific file has been added here. Fine, let me go back to that particular specific. So once we have downloaded and added that particular specific file, that JSON file inside our project, we say next, and then okay, next, yep. So then it say that you need to add that particular specific few things here. I mean, your project build.gradle file should look like that. So let me go back into that particular Android project, open that particular specific again, change it to the Android view, and now we are talking about the Gradle file. So the first thing that the thing that we need to change is the project level. So in the project level, I if you if I just go back here, so in the repository we need to have that Google. In the repositories we have the Google, so we don't need to worry about that. In the dependencies we need to add that particular specific line, Google services 4.3.3. so I copy this particular specific line, and then I come down here and paste it. So the other thing that if you look at that, we also have repositories, all projects, Google should be there. In the all projects, Google is already there. So the only thing that we need to change is this particular specific file, and we don't need to hit this sync now. Okay, I'm in sync right now. We can do it because we also need to do some changes inside our mobile app Gradle file. This is the other Gradle file. We have two, one is the project level and one is the app level. So in the Gradle product level, we have already done the changes. Now we will look at the app level. So in the app level, again, first of all, we need to have that particular, already have that particular specific apply plugin. And if I look at that apply plugin there already, you, and then we also need to apply another plugin that is actually this thing, Google GMS.Google services. So I copy that particular specific line and then add that particular specific line here. Now we need to add some dependencies from the Firebase. Okay, so for the Firebase dependencies, I showed you that in that particular specific is it here? Not, it is not open here. Open here. So we have that particular specific doc.android firebase.android dot setup. Okay, let me go up to this particular specific point and then put that things here, and then let's see what it, yeah, so it is giving me that particular specific setup options, and I want more like get started, Firebase to game, Firebase server. No, it's not giving me that particular. So we say docs, we say references or libraries, yeah, libraries, and then we can have those libraries for the Firebase SDK, Firebase Android SDK. No, we don't want to go advanced. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not it. So Firebase dot, no, okay. Let me open that particular specific you know that specific file, the yeah, it is the, what you can say that this is the file here. So yeah, so now if I set up, yeah, where is my libraries? It was a different view, maybe it is down there. Yeah, it is here. So because we are going to use the Firebase, so I will just copy that particular specific part here. I copy this from here, and then I go into my project, and then I say that I have already added that particular plugin. Now under the dependencies, I'm going to say that I want to have that implementation, and then in the double quote I provide that particular specific string. Okay, so once I provided that particular specific string implementation, even I don't think so that we need to have that particular specific line over there. And once we have, let me reconfirm from the, yep, so we just need to add that particular specific line implementation com.google.firebase colon firebase dash firestore 21.6.0, that is the latest version. And now we can hit the synchronization. So once we hit the synchronization, everything is working perfectly, look like fine. So we say rebuild the project, and now I can just show you quickly one thing. So we say Firebase, and it will Firebase assistant. Now I just want to use that particular specific Firestore. So read and write, so you can see that, so connect your application to the Firebase. We have already connected. Dependencies have been set up correctly. We can initialize that particular Firestore, and then we can start using that particular specific thing. But I mean, this particular tools in the Firebase, it will show me that particular specific thing, that are we connected properly with that particular specific Firestore or not. So that show me that it's connected. So we can close it down and close those particular specific Gradle files. Now what we want here, we will try to like close different things here. We don't need to, yeah, that is fine. So we have the data model, we have the view model, that are the main things, that communication between the UI and the data model and the data itself. So now what we want to do, we want to create a remote database handler, okay, or remote DB database handler class that will help us to add the data. So inside that project we are going to create a new class. So we say that remote DB handler, okay, and this is a class, and in that particular specific class I want to create that particular specific data model. Data model is equal to null, and then we have the public, and then have remote DB handler, and it should also take a data model, and we say that this dot data model is equal to data model. So this is what we have here right now. Now the other thing that we want is here, that we need, first thing is, remember that we need to get initial position, we need to initialize the courses table. So what we want here, and to what else we need to do before we can go into that details. So once we have because we have set all those dependencies, so we click next. We want to continue to the console. So now you can see that we have one particular application which is added into that particular specific project. we want to go into the cloud store, and inside the cloud store we need to create the database. So we say create. I want to start in the test mode. Okay, fine. I want to you can select the server. I mean, right now we are not that much, but definitely we will try to make that particular server as close to our user base as possible, and then we say enable. It will take some time before it can create that particular specific database for us. And then the main thing here is that we need to have those data collections names. We are defining some private names here. Okay, so those names that we are going to use for assigning the collection names. Remember that when I say that when we are creating the Firestore, it has the collections, and each collection which has the list of documents, and in that documents we will have the actual values. So you can consider collection as a table, and inside that table we have a row, and that row contains, that is equivalent to document, and that document or the row contain the information about that particular specific record. Okay, so collection are the tables, records or data or records are, or the rows are represented as a document, and the information inside that particular document are the key value pairs, and those are actually representing the actual information related to that particular specific data. So for that particular specific purposes we have created three variables. So these are the strings that we are creating, which are not going to change anytime. So that's why we make it private and final. We can also make it, we don't need to make it public because we are not going to use these strings anywhere else except this in this class. So we say students, which is representing the students table, courses, which is representing the courses tables, and the enrollments, which is representing the enrollments table. Now the first thing is we need to insert the courses, and we need to provide a list of courses to that particular specific method. So it should be a public so that we can access it from the outside, and it insert courses, and it will take a list of courses. And now we need to it should be ins insert. Okay, insert courses. Now the first thing is, because we have already Firebase Firestore. Okay, so that is actually our CloudDB, and we are going to assign it. So how we can get, we say that Firestore dot get instance, because we are already connected with that particular specific Firestore, that particular specific project. So this particular specific thing will provide me to the link of that particular week 10 demo project. If I just try to index or usage, I just want to know, yeah, like this one, this is the root one. Okay, so it will give me the root of that particular specific project. Okay, that Firestore, Cloud Firestore database. The one other thing that we need to change before we can go into that, so we go into the rules, and those rules are saying that if the request dot timestamp is less than or equal to this, but if we say, instead of having that particular specific thing, I just try to change it and say true. True mean that it is going to what you can say, that it is going to allow everyone, so it is an open database, everyone can accept it and so on. So we are like saying this thing, fine. So now we can access that particular specific database, and we, this particular cloud is representing the whole database, number one thing. And now what we need, so because we have a list of courses, so we more kind of a course in the courses, and we can also make it final. It means that it is not going to change. So final course inside that particular specific courses, for each course inside the course list, we are going to do the same thing. So what we are going to do, so we say that clouddb dot collection, and then for dot collection we are going to give the name. So we said course data collection. Definitely when we are running that particular specific code for the first time, this data collection does not exist in our Firebase. So once it does not exist in our Firebase, what it will do, it will actually create that particular specific. So and then we say that we want to document again, document, we need to provide a string as a, or the name of the document, you can say that, which we want to create or open. If it is already there, it will open that particular specific document, and if it is not there, then it is going to be created. So now the point is we want to keep those document name just like unique, just like each record inside our database should have a unique ID. So we will try to use that particular course ID that we are providing to make sure that it is actually a unique information. Okay, so what we need to do, so we need to what you can say that we can get that particular specific course dot get course ID, but the point is that particular course ID is actually a long value, and we need to convert it into the string dot value of that particular specific long value. It will create that particular, and then we are going to say set. When you set, we need to provide a object. Okay, we need to provide a map key value pair. Okay, so that key value pair is actually we need to generate. So how we can generate, I already have that thing here. I will just, I mean, I have explained you this thing in the lecture video, but I'm just trying to create that particular specific name here as well. So one more thing that I need to have is a constants names class. So where actually we are, so in the data model, I'm going to create a new class, making it a constant names class, and in that particular specific class, actually I am defining a few constants, and those constants are actually representing the fields, the column names of our course class. So we have a course ID, it's course code, the name of the column, course name. These are the final strings that we are going to use here. So here we need to insert that particular specific class. So once we have inserted, so what we are doing here, so we are going to call this particular get course map, and then we are giving the course. Okay, and what we are doing at that particular space, so we are providing a course object to this method, and what it will do, it will create a map which actually contains the uh, key value pair, the string representing the key, the name of that column, and the object is actually representing the actual value inside that we want to assign to that particular specific column or the key value. Okay, so the first is the course ID, and then we are providing the course ID, that is a long value. The second one is the course code, then we are providing the course code, which is a string value. The name, again a string value, description is also a string value, level is actually an integer value. So we have created that particular map which consists of all the columns of the course table and their values as a key value pair, and we return that map here at that particular specific point. And then we need to set, we need to serve like on success, on add complete listener. Okay, so we need to on add on not on add, so it should be add on complete listener, on success listener, on complete listener, on failure listener. On complete listener mean when that particular specific process is complete, it will return back and call that particular specific method. Or we can say that then we can check if the if we if that particular specific process or the task is completed successfully, then okay. If it is not completed successfully, So what we need to do, so either we have multiple things, either we do that particular specific thing and check by ourselves that we have that particular specific insertion of the record inside the cloud database was successful or unsuccessful, or we can directly add that particular specific thing. And then here we can say that we're talking about the new on success listener. So if I just try to like bring it down here, so we are saying that again, in from the cloud database, which is giving us the Firestore database main reference, we are going into the collection. That collection, if it's not there, it is going to be created for the first time, and then we are adding a document inside it, and inside that document we are putting the key value pairs as a map. Okay, and then we are saying that if that particular specific operation, going into the opening the collection, adding that particular specific document, and then inserting the values, if it is successful, we are coming down in that particular specific method. And then we can maybe we just want to like log those information that it has been successfully inserted into that particular specific database, and at the end we can say this. We can also add the other thing as well. Okay, so actually this is this one, and then if I just try to dot add on failure listener, and then we say that new on failure listener, so we can also log that it was not successfully logged. So we can also this one, and then say is not inserted. So we can have both. Okay, so maybe we can add, so this is a way we can add the insert the courses information inside our cloud database. Now the point is how we can connect with our view model as well as the data model. So we have the data model. Inside the data model, where we are inserting that particular specific list of students. Okay, so let me find it out. We have insert students. Yeah, here we are inserting students. So here when we say that course DAO dot course, the dot length is not equal to 0, it means that we have created that particular specific initial list of courses, and we have inserted into our SQLite database. And once it is successful, we want to add that particular specific thing using the remote DB handler. So for that particular specific thing, first of all, we need to have that particular specific remote DB handler as a private, and we can say that remote DB handler. That will also add that particular specific class here. Insert that one, remote DB handler, where the data model. Where is that class that has been inserted? Okay, no, it should be it should be imported, that particular specific remote DB handler class, where it has imported. Wow, not showing me anything. So maybe we can say that student DAO. Okay, it does not show me because but the point is it is actually they are in the same package, so maybe it does not show that it is imported because they are in the same package. The classes are visible to each other, so that's why it is not there. So and then we need to initialize, and remember that in that particular specific, say we are saying that that particular, when we are creating the object of this particular specific DB handler, it actually get the database data model reference, and we are saving it here. And then actually we are saying that remote DB handler, I think the name are a little bit different as compared to remote DB. Here we have capital DB, here we have small DB. Okay, in any case, so we have that particular, we can check it down there. Yep, remote DB handler. So what we have done here, we created a remote database handler object, and we have initialized and pass on the reference of the current data model, and that will be saved over there. Why we need to save it there, I will show you. And once in the initialization course data, what we are doing, we are creating all those courses, and then once if it is successfully inserted into our room database or SQLite database. Not should I should not say room. Room is not a database. Room is a framework which help us to communicate with the SQLite database. So once it is has been successfully inserted, it will go and insert the same kind of information inside our cloud database as well. Okay. So before we can run that particular specific thing here, we need to delete that particular specific application. Okay, so we can say that practical, so this is our practical demo app, and I want to uninstall it. Okay, so once we uninstall it, all the database is gone. Because we are, if we look at that particular specific condition, if there does not exist any courses information inside the course table, then we are going to insert it. So because if we look at the previous installation, that information has already been inserted in that database, so we need to delete that particular specific application. Of course, we need to register the users again once more, but what will happen, it will also go and add those information inside our remote database. So let us run that application, and what I will do quickly, I will go into my remote database, and I will also open that particular specific project here. Is it coming up? Yes, it is coming up. So now if I just try to refresh my collection here, it should show me the courses. Yep, so you can see that we have those courses information. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 courses has been inserted in that particular specific cloud database. So this show us the successful that we are connected with that particular specific Firebase, and we have inserted that thing. So we have only handled one thing yet. And remember that once we go into the sign up and click on that sign up button, it will add that particular specific user as well inside our room database. So inside our room database, we also want, again, that is inside the inserts and student. So we need to go and look at the insert student, get student, insert student. So we have that particular specific method here. Insert student, it take a student object and go into that particular SQLite database using the student DAO, insert that student inside, and it return back the ID of that particular specific record. Now what we want here, again, we need to uncomment that particular specific line, and then we say that we want to insert the student. But the point is, in the remote database we don't have the insert method yet, insert student method. So I will just take that particular specific name from here and go into that one and then try to insert. So we say it is a public, it is not going to return anything. The name of the method we have copied from there, we getting the student and then student object, and we are going to insert. The process is same, okay, except we don't need to make a for loop. So first of all, we need to say that we need to create a Firestore cloud db is equal to firestore.get instance. So again, it will give me the reference of that particular Firestore database, and inside that particular specific database we want to it should be CLOUD. We are going to use the cloud db dot collections, and if you remember, if I just try to bring it down, so we have the student collection name, student data collection. So we can say that stu student data collection, and then we are going to add dot document, and in that document we need to provide a unique name. Again, unique name, user email address is also a unique, user id is also a unique. So now it's totally up to you what you want to use. So maybe we can say that we want to get the student username, that is also the email address. So because id is a long value, we need to convert it back. So we have used the id as a document name in the courses. Say here we again, we know that if you remember inside your students, we make sure that username unique is true. It means we have a unique value for each user in terms of its um, in terms of its email address or the username. And then we can say set. So when we say set, we need again a method which is going to convert the student object into a map, okay, into a key value map. So again, we need to inside our constant, so we need to provide those particular specific column names for our what you can say that here. I'm just trying to like student id, username, user password, user first name, user last name, address, street address, suburb address, city address, postcode, gender, date of birth, and more. So we have provided the names. We have defined those names as a string, final string values, which are can be used as a key for that particular specific values for the student table. Okay, and then for the student id, we provide the student id of the name, that's a long value, again string value. Password is also a string value, first name last name also string value, address is also string value. So we are providing. So what we are going to do, we are say get student map and give the student object as and then we can say that add on success listener, and we say that new on success listener. We also provide add a failure listener. Again, we can put it here, and then we say that new or on failure listener. So again, what we want to prepare, um, maybe we want to let me quickly bring up an insert statement. Okay, so you can see things here. Student, so student is there. What's the problem here? Student, okay, and then the same thing we can do is not it's not inserted. So again, failure, and I mean here we are opening that particular or creating or opening that particular specific students collection, creating a document and putting all the informations of the students inside that document as a key value pair. And at the end we need to put that semicolon to close that particular specific. So only one time we need to add. Okay, and then inside insert student we have already considered. So this is the same method that our sign up is using to insert a student record inside the room database. So that is exactly the same. If the room insertion, if the SQLite database insertion is successful, we are also inserting that particular specific student value or the user information inside our room database as well. So let us stop that particular specific application. Maybe I will be able to show you one thing, that is actually where is my insert course, and then in the insert course, if I just try to run that thing here, okay, it's a dead one. Yeah, so you can see that it has the insert course, it has logged those information is inserted, it's inserted. So d101, d111, course d201, and so on. So they are inserted in the database. Okay, so right now we don't want to do anything else, so we will just try to keep it like that. Fine, so let me rerun that particular specific application. and this time they are not going to add that particular specific courses again. Okay, so again, if I just try to come down here and then try to like make it a refresh thing, and then see that if it is instantly coming inside our sign up. And again, I'm just trying to use a dot Malik. I need to provide the add relate of sign com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 Abbas Malik 41 47 444 9 okay 14 10 1979 448 Albert Street B2 Farmer Stone North, and then 4410, and then we say sign up. When you say sign up, it is successfully logged in, and then I click cancel. So when I click cancel, does it coming up? No. Let me refresh it and see it is coming up or not. Yes, the students collection has been created. abbas.malik@yahoo.com. Again, that is a document name, and then the information that I have added over there, they have been added: student ID, password, and so on. All those informations are there. Okay, the next thing, we can also see that particular specific thing here. If I just try to go into my remote database, so we say course insert. Here we have the st insert that is representing the student. So you can see that abbas.malik@yahoo.com is inserted into the cloud database. So it's show me that it has been successfully inserted. Fine. So the last thing that we want to do here is that we want to do the enrollment part. So in the enrollment part, again, we need to, what you can say that, because we have three different tables, so we need to add that particular specific enrollments inside it. Again, we have given the collection name enrollments, so I'm just trying to copy paste these two methods here. This is the remote DB handler. We are get enrollment read. Yep, so we are going to put that particular specific two methods here. One is the, again, we need to, inside the enrollment, we need to add those enrollment inside the constants. So we will just go there and put these enrollment table column names as the keys for our, so we have those things. So first of all, again, we are creating the DB reference. Then we are adding the enrollment data collection, which we have defined here, that's represent the enrollments. And then using the enrollment ID, we are assigning the name to those documents. And then inside the document, we are setting the informations as a key value player. We are providing that particular enrollment object to this method, and that method is returning me as a key value pairs inside of a map, and that map is actually being put inside that particular specific document. And then we also have on success listener and on failure listener, and then we are all set. So the other thing that we want to do here is that we want to read those information. So when we want to read those information, so I also have that particular another thing which is going to, okay, so for the reading purposes, so first of all, again, we need to get that particular specific cloud reference, and then we are saying that we want to open the enrollments collection. And enrollments collection is it is not yet there, okay, because we have not added any kind of enrollment here right now. And then we are saying that get. So what, for example, if I just go back here and then I say that I have these courses, when I say this is a collection and we access that collection, we have get the reference of that collection, and then say we say get that dot get. So what will do, it will return me back the list of all the documents which are present in that particular specific collection. So it will return me 7 documents. So once it has returned me all the documents, and then see, we are saying that on complete listener, when that particular specific task of getting those 7 documents, or the how many documents are there, so if that document fetching task is complete, it will open up that particular specific, it will add that particular specific, and here we are saying on new on complete listener, and it also take a query snapshot, and that query snapshot representing the task, and then we are checking if that task is successful. It means that it has been successfully fetched those records or the documents from that particular specific collection. And then we are saying that here we are creating a empty list of enrollments equal to new array list enrollment. So we have an empty enrollment which does not have any document, any enrollment object inside it. So now we are queuing that particular task. We are saying that task.get result. So it will give me the all the documents which are present inside that particular task, which we have asked them to do. So it will give me back the list of those documents, and then here we say query snapshot doc for each document in that particular specific result set. We want to perform the same thing. First of all, because when the enrollments are saved, we have a date object, and that date object is actually converted into a timestamp. So we are saying a doc.get timestamp when we are giving the key for that particular specific timestamp, and we get that timestamp, and then we convert into a date object, so we get that particular specific date. So that's why, and then we can, from that particular specific doc, which is representing the one document inside that connection, we say get data. So it, when we get data, it will give me back again a map form, map of the key value pair. So we have the map, and then we get all those values. So once we have those values, what we will do, we will need to convert that map back into the enrollment. So this is take that map as well as that date value. So what it will do, it will take that particular specific map, and then using map dot get. So we are getting the map, from the map we are getting the specific value for a specific key. So we have already defined those constant names inside our constant class, so we exactly know what are those. So we have, say, enrollment ID, it will give me back the value as an object, give value as an object, so we need to convert it into a long value. Then we also say that we want to get the student ID. Again, that student ID will be returned back as an object, and we need to convert it into the long. The same thing for the course ID, and definitely the date we have already converted into a date object, and then that is what we have passed into this particular specific method. So it will say that return new enrollment. It will be based on the student ID, enrollment ID, student ID, course ID, and date, which is coming from the cloud. It creates a enrollment object and return back. And what we are doing here, we are adding that particular specific object inside our enrollments list. And once we have completed that particular specific thing, then we are saying that go back into the data model and set enrollments remove database list. So what we are doing here we have set enrollments database list. So what it is going to do, it is going into our room, going into our what you can say that don't be confused. This particular specific update enrollment is also a method inside this our what you can say that the data model, which is here, and it is going in using the enrollment DAO. It go into the SQLite database and update those information. When you say update, it will update the information. It means the information has been changed, and if we are observing that particular specific change using the live data, then those things automatically updated inside our user interface. So we don't need to like it. So we don't need to go and tell the user interface there is something changed, you need to update, because it is observing that particular specific live data. It will automatically update it. Okay, so that is how we have implemented our remote or room database. So let us one more thing, We have done that thing, we have done that thing. Let me make sure that everything is working, and before we can add another, uh, we are going to read our uh, so we are saying that we are reading that particular specific read clouds students enrollment. So we are remote db handler dot read. So we are, I mean, the this particular specific method read remote database enrollments, we are reading from here. And then the same thing, I think we also have the same thing here as well in the what you can say that inside our view model we can remove cloud enrollments. So we have the connection between the view model, data model, and the remote database handler. Fine. And then what we need to do, we need to add uh, let me run that particular specific application. Okay, and then I will show you quickly that how this particular specific application is going to add. So let me quickly add one more uh, alice dot wonder dot at disney.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and alice wonder, and this is a female, and then we can say that 021 027 1110, and then we have 01/01/1960, and then we can say that one princess street wonderland disney, and one more. And then we say sign up. When you say sign up, we cancel it, and then we come back here. So we have those alice is also there. So let me add quickly abbas.malik at yahoo.com, and then we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then we need to log in. So once we have logged in, there is no enrollment for the Abbas yet, so we can say that add enrollment. If we come back, you can see we also add the programming 2 enrollment. Okay, so we have 2 enrollments for the Abbas, and if I just go back here, we can go into the home page. We can also add it, but I just want to cancel, and then we don't have any kind of like remote access right now, but we want to create another activity where we want to show some and the other thing is, if I just go out and alice dot wonder at disney.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, this is the password, standard password, and then we can say that add enrollment. We also want to have this digital multimedia, so we have 2 enrollments for the alice. So now what I want I want to show the enrollments from the remote database, and then show them into a separate activity, and there we are not making any kind of like student based. We are saying that show me all the enrollments. That's what we want to add here. So how we can add quickly? So again, we go into the file, we want to add a new activity, empty activity, and then we need to provide the name. So we can see the remote db enrollment list, remote db enrollment activity, okay, or enrollments, enrollments activity. So once we have done that, so I have that particular specific remote DB enrollment, what you can say that. So I will just quickly, first of all, I just want to convert that particular specific layout into linear layout, and then I want to convert that orientation into vertical, that gravity into horizontal center, and inside I am putting that particular specific things here, and they are okay. So we have what you can say that the title, and then the view which is representing that line, and then we put a recycler view, so remote enrollment recycler view. And inside that particular specific remote recycler view, we can do we can initialize that particular specific what you can say that where is the yep. So we are actually initializing that particular, because we are only showing the enrollment, so we already have that student enrollment recycler view adopter and view holder, so we don't need to create a new one. We can just initialize those things. So here we can simply say that we have a view model, so we can say that week view model is equal to new week view model, and we can get the application, that is the context. And then here we can say that recycler view is equal to find by id r dot id dot remote recycler view. So we have that particular recycler view, and then in the recycler view dot set layout manager, we say not new linear layout manager, and provide the context here. And then we are going to view model dot get dot read, yeah, read cloud data, cloud students enrollments, and it does not return me anything. So well, this is the reading part. So we need to have the view model dot get student enrollment, students enrolled courses, but without the student ID. Okay, so we are not providing the student ID. It will return me back a live list of enrollments data. And then we say that observe, provide the owner, and we say that new observer. And here we are saying that recycler view dot set adopter, and we say that new student enrollment recycler view adopter, and then we are passing the enrollment data. Okay, so that is what we are doing here. And then we at the end we are saying that go into the cloud, read all those enrollments data, and update that into the database. Once it is going to update, because we are observing that particular specific enrollments in here, so because we are observing it, once the things are being changed inside the database, it will automatically show up inside our the other thing that we need to do before we can go, remember we have main menu bar, and then here we need to and here we need to provide the class that we have, remote DB enrollments activity. Okay, so I think yep, that's it. So let me run that particular specific application again and see if we are going to look at those. It is installing, launching, automatically login. So now Alice is logged in, but once we click on that particular remote DB, it is going to show me the enrollments for the Abbas as well. Okay, so you can see the enrollments for the Abbas Malik as well as the Alice in the Wonderland. So these are coming from our what you can say that from our remote database. Why I can say that? Let me go back and add another enrollment for the Alice. Okay, I'm adding the mobile application, add an enrollment, and if we look at the mobile application, it is showing me that you are inserting that particular specific on the 22 0 0, it means at the middle. What do you mean by 22 0 0 multimedia 2155? So all the, like, you know, let me add another one. Programming 1 is also added. It's a 21 1. Why it is 20 0 here? But anyway, so we have like 21. It should be 22nd of September 2020, but why it is 0 0 now? It is 0 1. But if I just try to go back and see this thing, it is going to show me the Alice mobile, and then if you look at that, these things are changing. So why these things are changing? um, I mean, there's an issue between the timestamp, which is in the cloud, and converting that into the date. So I have to look into that particular specific details. What are the reasons that I'm not getting the exactly the same? If we look into our data there, inside our I need to refresh so that I can see the enrollments as well. Now, are we in the right database? Yeah, it is look like the right database, but why we are not looking at the enrollments? Election, students, Alice, that's fine. Courses are also there, but why my enrollments are not there? Okay, let me see if we have an error message here. Let me remove that particular specific thing and then see that if I can see my enrollments. Remote database, where is my, this is activity class, add enrollments activity, here remote database handler, and here when we are inserting it, we are say cloud enroll. No, when we are inserting, so we say enroll insert. We are trying to enroll insert, and this one, yeah, there is nothing. On failure, we also have the enroll insert. So here we can say that log dot, can I see that particular specific thing here? No. So I think that there is something wrong. So let me see what is that particular specific thing. It show me the informations, but the point is, if I just say that I want to log out, abbas.malik@yahoo.com, 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then I need to log in. I can see my two 51 54 on it. That's ridiculous. Let me add data analytics and add the enrollment, and here we have 2204 2020. I mean, that's something very strange happening over there. But the point is, once we have added that particular specific enrollment, so once we have added that enrollment, are we looking at that particular specific enrollment part here? So let me, this one is, so we are looking at, okay, insert enrollment is never being used here. So that is the only reason that we don't see those things. So we need to look at into our database model where we are inserting that particular specific enrollment, and if we have not had called that particular specific, yeah, so this particular specific enroll.set student, we have not called that method. So that is the reason that we can't see things over there. Okay, so the one thing, because if it is not going into the cloud, then it means that there is something wrong when we are inserting the enrollment in the insert enrollment. So where we are using it, this particular specific method, insert enrollment, and we are using this particular specific method. Here we are using it, and then we are saying that the new date, we set a new date. Okay, fine. If this is a new date, I mean, this is something very strange, that why this new date is not giving me the current date. It should give me the current date, that is this 22nd of September. In the middle of the night I'm recording this lecture for you. Okay, okay, fine, because here we are, say, add, click that particular specific add button, and then we are saying that we are putting that 0. Okay, because we don't need to worry about that. We have a student ID, we have a course ID, and then we say that new date. So let me quickly say new date. We can quickly grab the things here, and we say that how to generate current date in Java. Okay, so how get a current date and time in Java. Okay, so let me see that what we can do here, because that is the only thing that we are. So we are saying that date formatter new dot print for, I mean, don't new simple date format, new date is equal to this, and then we say that system dot print date format dot date. It should give me the current date and time in Java simple date format. So simple date format, it is actually, I'm just saying that new format, and then it is formatting that particular specific. So new date should give me the current date. What's the problem with my emulator? It is showing me 22nd of September, Tuesday. Then what's the problem? I mean, that's because when you hit the new date. Okay, let me do this thing here. Okay, so we have date is equal to new date. Okay, or the system dot, can we use this system dot get. Okay, let me make sure, and then here we can use that particular specific date. Okay, and one more thing, I just want to quickly simple date format st simple date format is equal to new simple dot date format, and then we say week view model dot format date, and then we can simply say that string str date is equal to sdf dot format, and then we can say date, and let me put that particular specific cursor here, and then I say I want to do that debugging. I just want to make sure that we are of course, and one thing is very clear, that if we are adding the new enrollments, then those enrollments are not going to be added inside the cloud. The reason is that we whenever we are inserting the new enrollments will go into the cloud, the previous enrollments will not go into the cloud. So that is one thing that will need to be or otherwise we have to like remove all the things, and then we can come back and see. But the point is, we say and add, and when you say programming to add enrollment, it's coming down here. So now look at that, it is showing me 22 10 20. I mean, that's very strange. Why it is 10 20? It is not October, it is September. that particular. So again it is showing me that it is September 22. I mean, if you look at that particular specific date, September 22, it is showing me exactly the same thing, and then we have 2020. Okay, then what is the problem with the format? Okay, is there any problem with the format? So let me see. Okay, maybe it is minutes showing up, and this one should be the day. Day is fine, the minutes are okay. Let me okay, because I'm putting the small mm and that is representing, I suppose. So we have DD and capital mm. Small mm is actually representing that particular specific minutes. So minutes are changing all the time. That's why something is 10, something is 24, something 54. Okay, so I have to fix that particular specific format. Okay, fine, that's we have figured out, huh? So we don't need that particular specific things, two lines. So we have new date, even the new date putting there is also going to work. So maybe I don't need to create that particular specific extra line here. So new date, and then it's going to over there. And once we are reading it back, I have all fixed that particular specific in the view model, that particular so it will hopefully it is going to work properly. you know okay, yep. So let me quickly go into the database. Okay, it will show me all the things, and now the point is that if I just go back and remove that particular specific collection, now I can see that in my collection it should show me the enrollments as well, because we have added that enrollment. No, we have not added that enrollment. Okay, so okay, quickly let me uninstall that particular specific application. Okay, and practical demo I want to uninstall. I know that I have to do all that thing. I also need to we also need to remove the collections as well. So it is courses, delete it. Okay, I don't want to add similarly I also want to delete those students students, delete. So we have removed the data from our cloud as well, and then we are going back and run the hit button over there, and then we also coming down here. So if we look at that, it is going to show me the courses information. So now I just quickly sign up with things, abbas.malik at yahoo.com, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and Abbas Malik, go to 1 02 0 0 0 1 1 1. Okay, and 1, and then we say 01 01 and 1979 1079, whatever it is. I'm just trying to put those information, and here we need to put these numbers, sign up. So if we look at that, cancel. So okay, .malik at yahoo.com, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Abbas Malik 021 027 444 29 01 slash 01 slash 1979 70. Here we can give whatever we want. Here again we want this one, and sign in. So account is created successfully. So it showed me that particular. I said sign up Alice dot wonder at Disney.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then we have Alice Wonder, it's female 021 027 44429, and then we have 01 slash 01 slash 1900, and we have this, we have this, we have this. Okay, and then we have sign up. Okay, demo application has stopped. What is the reason? Where is my, I mean, I want to do it quickly and then the things are breaking up. Wow, that's interesting. So where is my error gone? I have to check at that time. So we have one, so let me Alice dot wonder at Disney.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, Alice Wonder email. Okay, we need to provide a different 021000111 and 01/01/1900. Actually, we provide the same mobile number, and we have inside our database we say that it should be unique. Okay, so if we are providing the same number for the Abbas that I have provided earlier, it said that sorry, you can't add that one over there. The reason is that you have put this unique constraint on it. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are fulfilling all the constraints for the sign up. I hope it is working now. It is successfully added. So once we look at that, we have that one. So we say that Abbas dot Malik at yahoo.com, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, we need to log in. So once we are logged in, I just try to add some enrollments. Okay, so so we have some enrollments. We can also go into edit that thing, we can add those things, we can sign out. So once we sign out, we can say that Alice dot wonder at Disney, DISNEY Disney.com, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we are going to log in. Once we log in, then we can add the enrollments for our multimedia, and then we also say that we want to add programming tool. We also want to add the enrollment of the enterprise data management, and then we can simply go into the remote database. So once you go into the remote database, I will just try to quickly show you that these informations has been successfully. Where is the remote database? Okay, so I just close those things. Where is the remote database? Enroll, insert. So I can just quickly show you. I mean, look at that. Student 1 2 3 4 5 has been inserted in the cloud. Actually, it is not the student 1 2 3, it is enrollment 1 2 3 has been inserted in the cloud. We can go into the cloud as well and see those things here as well. So we have the enrollments. We have 6 enrollments has been inserted, 3 for the LS, 3 for the Abbas. We also have 2 students over there. We also have the courses over there. So you can see, and then I quickly show you that when we are reading those information, we have read those clouds. So actually we have read the informations from the cloud, and then we say that we are saying that those strings, so enrollment or two strings. So it is saying that if we have different enrollment objects that we have read from the cloud, and that we are putting it inside the database. So that is the end of our lecture, practical demonstration for the cloud database, and you know how to handle those things, the what you can say that the collection names, the document names, and the key value pairs that we need to add, and then how we can insert the record, how we can read the record. Again, if you are using the same key value pair, same document ID with same collection and the same name of the document, it is going and update that particular specific information inside, because always if you are providing the same collection name with the same document name, it will go and update those information. So updation is more like insert or updates, one and the same thing, because it will check if that document is already existed, it will go and override with the new information. So that is also kind of an updation. If you want to delete, then we have to see that how we can remove a document from a collection inside our remote database. So thank you very much, I hope you enjoy, and now you have all the tools to finish your assignment, and I hope that you can work on it, and I will be happy to answer all your questions in the class or over the email. Thank you, bye.